Most men walk through life blind to the reality of women, moving through the world with a picture in their heads that doesn't match how things truly work. They see the surface, the affection, the smiles, the sweet words, and they build entire beliefs about love on that surface alone. They assume women operate like men do, valuing logic, consistency, and loyalty above all else. They expect her words to mean the same thing theirs do, fixed commitments carved into stone. But the day that illusion breaks is the day a man is never the same again. Once you stop projecting your way of thinking onto her, the fog lifts, and you see that women are not governed by the same rules. They are guided by feelings, not facts. By emotions, not commitments. By instincts, not ideals. When you truly accept this, you stop expecting them to exist in the world of reason. You begin protecting yourself from being destroyed by the world of fantasy they live in. Because the harsh truth is this, a woman's words and her actions often don't line up. She can swear with all her heart that she loves you, mean it completely in that moment, and then walk away days later as if none of it mattered. Why? Because her emotions shifted. And in her world, that shift isn't betrayal, it's truth. What she felt in that moment was real, but when the feeling faded, so did the bond. This is why men get blindsided and heartbroken. They thought her words were contracts, binding agreements that could be trusted forever. But to her, they were only emotional reflections of a passing moment. Once you understand this, you never again take words at face value, you start watching only what she does. When you finally begin to see women clearly, you stop falling for their contradictions. You stop clinging to the things they say because you realize much of it comes from emotional desire, not logical alignment. When a woman tells you she wants a strong man who also shows his emotions, she's not lying to you, she's expressing two conflicting needs that live inside her at the same time. She wants strength because it makes her feel secure, but she also craves softness because it makes her feel connected. She wants stability because it grounds her, yet she also longs for chaos because it excites her. She says she wants honesty, but she thrives on mystery. These contradictions can drive men insane when they try to analyze them with reason. A man thinks she's being dishonest, manipulative, or hypocritical. But the truth is, her contradictions are not lies. They are emotional truths colliding with one another, constantly shifting and reshaping depending on what she feels in the moment. Once you accept that women are not bound by logic the way men are, you stop trying to solve them like a puzzle. You stop demanding consistency from someone who was not built to live consistently in the first place. Instead, you learn to navigate her nature without losing yourself in it. You realize effort alone doesn't make her stay. Men give everything: time, love, money, sacrifice, believing it's enough to hold a woman forever. But women don't stay because of effort. They stay because of how they feel. And if the feelings fade, none of that sacrifice matters. That's when men end up bitter, asking how she could leave after all he gave. But the man who understands no longer plays that game. He stops begging, stops overgiving, and begins holding firm like the man she cannot replace. The real shift happens when you start to understand why women test you. At first, those moments feel cruel, unfair, and draining. She questions your actions, changes her mood without warning, creates emotional storms out of nowhere. You ask yourself why she can't just trust your love or accept your consistency. But the truth is, those tests are not designed to destroy you. They exist to measure you. Every storm she brings is her instinct pushing against you to see if you'll collapse or remain unshaken. Most men fail because they take it personally. They become insecure, reactive, or desperate to smooth things over. They try to fix her emotions, beg for peace, or over-explain themselves, not realizing that in doing so they've just proven they can be broken. A woman's test isn't about the words you say, it's about the strength you show when her chaos rises. The man who understands doesn't flinch. He doesn't chase after every mood swing or scramble to prove himself worthy. He sees the test for what it is, a challenge to stand firm. When you stay grounded, when you don't let her storms pull you off your center, something powerful happens. She respects you in a way that no gift, no sweet word, no romantic gesture could ever create. You become the calm she can lean on, not the chaos she can manipulate. And this is when you realize the deeper truth: women don't test men to break them, they test because their survival instincts demand it. They need to know that the man they are with won't crumble under pressure, because if he can't withstand her storm, he can't withstand life's storms either. Once you understand this, you stop resenting her tests and start using them as opportunities to prove your strength to yourself. Another revelation that reshapes everything is the difference between love and respect in a woman's world. Most men believe love is enough. They think if they love her deeply, sacrifice everything, and give her the world, she will stay. But women don't leave men because they stop loving them. They leave men because they stop respecting them. And once respect is gone, everything else crumbles. A woman can still say she loves you, she can even still feel affection, but without respect, that love loses its weight. This is why so many men are blindsided. They confuse affection with respect. They hear her say she loves them and think it's security, when in truth, it's fragile. Respect is the glue that holds her loyalty, the foundation that anchors her emotions. And here's the truth that's hard for many men to swallow: respect doesn't come from giving her everything she asks for. It doesn't come from bending to her moods or sacrificing your standards to please her. Respect is earned by holding your frame, standing tall, and refusing to lose yourself in her chaos. Once you understand this, you never again confuse sweet words or affectionate gestures for the deeper foundation that actually keeps her anchored to you. You also stop being shocked by her contradictions. She says she wants stability but chases excitement. She says she values honesty but is drawn to mystery. She claims she wants a good man yet runs after the one who ignites her emotions. At first, it feels like hypocrisy. But when you see clearly, you understand its emotional truth. She wants whatever makes her feel alive in that moment. Once you accept that, you stop trying to fix her contradictions and instead focus on never losing yourself in the middle of them. As your vision sharpens, you stop putting women on pedestals. Before, you may have believed she was the prize, the one who would complete your life, the center of your happiness. You worked to impress her, to win her attention, to keep her satisfied, often at the expense of yourself. But when you finally see clearly, you realize she is not a goddess, not an angel, not a savior. She is a human being, driven by instincts, emotions, and fears just like you. And when that pedestal crumbles, so does the power she had over you. Suddenly you no longer tolerate disrespect out of fear of losing her. You no longer beg for her validation or twist yourself into shapes to fit her moods. Instead, you begin to see her as a companion, not a purpose. And that shift alone changes the way she looks at you. Respect is born the moment she realizes you will never beg to be chosen. Alongside this, you stop living in scarcity. Most men operate as if every woman they meet is their only shot at love, their one chance at happiness. That scarcity mindset makes them cling, beg, and tolerate treatment they should never accept. But once you understand women, you see abundance. You know there will always be another connection, another opportunity, another woman. From that abundance mindset, your frame transforms. You no longer chase, you choose. You don't beg, you dismiss. You don't cling, you filter. And paradoxically, this makes you more attractive, because women can sense when a man doesn't need them. A man who can walk away without hesitation is the man she respects the most. Detachment is power, and once you master it, you'll never look at relationships the same again. The final transformation comes when you stop living for women altogether. Before, many men build their lives around relationships, making women their highest priority, shaping every action around winning or keeping their affection. They work to impress, dress to attract, and live to please, convinced that fulfillment comes from being chosen. But when your eyes open, you realize that a man's life cannot be built on her approval. A man's life must be built on his mission. Your purpose, your vision, your discipline, those are the true anchors. Women are additions to the world you've built, not the foundation of it. And when you flip this order, everything changes. You stop being desperate. You stop being easily discarded. You stop bending under pressure. Instead, you live from a place of strength, and paradoxically, that strength makes you more magnetic. This is the paradox most men never learn: the moment you no longer need women is the moment you begin to attract them the most. Because women crave the man who doesn't flinch under their storms. The man who refuses to beg for their love. The man who remains grounded while they drift in fantasy. That man becomes untouchable. Once you embody him, you will never again be drained, manipulated, or broken. You'll stop confusing love with sacrifice. You'll stop tolerating disrespect in the name of patience. You'll stop chasing illusions and start living in truth. You'll see women clearly, not as angels, not as demons, but as humans guided by emotions, instincts, and contradictions. And when you understand that, you stop expecting them to be your world. You build your own instead. That shift frees you. It makes you fearless. It makes you unshakable. And it makes you the man no storm can move.